quality merchandise. So, I'm throwing fire immediately on Funko, but the truth is, Funko does make some pretty nice stuff. You know, they've got the statues of, like, Freddy and Gregory and Vanny, and they've also got some pretty nice mystery minis, as well as even some of their figures are not even that bad. They're not perfect, but it's not a complete monstrosity, unlike what we're about to see here. What are these? Now you might be thinking, oh, these are just some bootlegs that you found on Amazon. No, these are real products that are marketed that I found in the checkout line at Target. They are supposed to be keychains, but, you know, I need to point out immediately, like, you'll notice that there's a white splotch right through this hat, and also a chunk of hair missing. That is because when I attempted to take off the keyring, the entire garbage plastic that they use on this just broke. Also, just like looking at the molding on this, it's awful. It's like you can just like completely twist this over and over. It's like the worst plastic I've ever seen, and it's holding its shape. Wow. But yeah, this is insanity. Like, if you actually look at this, there are details molded on that are just unpainted. Like, half of this thing is unfinished. Like, look, there are actually details right there on the legs that are just unpainted. So, it's time for us to fix this. This is our Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card mat that you've seen for a couple of our Pokemon card unboxings. But more than anything, recently I've just been using it as a place to paint figures. And we got a nice selection of tiny brushes that might be able to fix these up. Yeah. And let me just point out, this is dreadful. You put the frickin', like, actual item number on the backs of their heads. Yeah, and, you know, that's whose fault this is. We're gonna fix that later. But yes, it is time for us to get some paints and solve this. Not sponsored. This is just what I found on Amazon. You can tell I do not care, because when I opened it, I used my knife and just slashed directly through it. It also does have some smaller brushes in here. It actually came with 3, but those have, one of them has died spectacularly. And of course, any good painter has their, I don't even know what this is actually called now. This is just a paint tray, essentially. And you may be wondering why there's black duct tape here. It's because there is super glue underneath this, and it never dried. Because I had to super glue a figure together because it arrived broken. And the super glue got on here, and it ruined everything. I also just realized I have not been recording with Audacity, so looks like you'll be listening to solely Galaxy S7 mic quality today. Well, I apologize. So, let's start out by just dealing with that little detail there on the back. And you see, this tool right here is a sanding stick, or you can just call it a nail file. And all we're going to do is just scrub that right off. Also, I apologize for any camera shaking. The actual mounting equipment that I typically use, the actual, like, screw that's supposed to hold it in place, it's gone. It just vanished. I don't know where it is anymore. And you may be wondering, am I really going to be painting on the back of this Kindle for the sole purpose of doing the parody dank pods bit. Yes, because it actually provides really good contrast. Like, it's actually not even bad. You may also be wondering, why even bother going through with this? Well, I spent money on these products. So, why would I not want them to look actually decent? And I'm gonna be honest, a product is not going to look decent with this frickin' copyright on the back of it embossed into it. It's still there. It's still there. You can barely see it, but it is still there. So, we'll probably have to speed through this bit. It's hard to sand things that aren't flat, but already you can see that is already looking way nicer. Even though it is, like, straight up raw plastic that's just white as snow underneath. And I'm going to be focusing on Roxy first, because even though I could theoretically do both at the same time, Roxy's my favorite character, and she has not been treated nicely by the merch. Like, I want to be honest, this is the best we have for Roxy merch. What is this? Like, Funko. This is awful. I feel so bad for my poor Roxy. But this, I think it's possible to salvage even with how terrible it looks currently. There's still a bit of warranty information, not warranty, copyright information that we can just sand right on off. Is this illegal? No, I bought the product. I'm the consumer. I consumed this product. It really just does not want to get rid of this one part. Wow, it's really just, like, blasted in there. It's gone. Look at that. Nice and smooth. So now, oh my god, also look at, like, this is painted by a company, yeah? That's like stuff that I will be okay with me doing. But, like, look at that. There's literally gray splattered all over this guitar. Alright. So, let's go grab some frickin' paint. Alright, we got a nice gray mixed up right here. And now, we're just going to completely frickin' restart on this. Like, this needs to be entirely just painted over and tried again. We need to go back to straight up bare, like, just straight up bare immediately. Because the colors were not great initially. And, going to be honest, this could turn out wrong. This could just straight up be an absolute failure of a video. But I'll still try my damnedest. Because goddamn, this thing deserves better than what it had. I'm looking at the top area where the keychain sort of broke off, and I'm wondering if I should have filed that down as well, but we'll have to see. So this is a good enough first coat, and we're going to let this sit over and dry now, but like, yeah, this is going to give us a far better start, I believe. Even though that definitely needs to get covered up more, and so does that. A lot of it really bleeds through. Darn. Oh well. We'll have to see how it goes. Okay. Oh wow, this zoomed in quite more than I intended. However, I think this is probably going to look better. So, I'm going to now start working here on Vanny. Well, Vanessa, you understand. It's the same character. Now, you may wonder why I didn't scratch this off. Well, that's because I'm pretty sure I can probably just actually hide it underneath a glob of just black paint on the back. As well as, I don't think that I actually need to completely, like, repaint and redo this one. I think it's definitely going to need a lot of work, but I think the base is good enough that it will not be as problematic. Now, I'm definitely going to have to be very careful with this one, since, looking at her, she is very undetailed, and most of her fine details are very small. So, I need to get a really small brush in order to get to all of the places that I'd like to fix up. So, look at how small this brush is. For context, here's my fingernail, and I have very small hands. So, literally, just a drop of this. And I am going to work on this little area. Okay, it's so hard. Oh my god, and they're just gripped onto the black spot on top, of course. I probably should have done this in a different way. Oh, hey! That's probably never going to come off this, this tablet. That's fine. Just gotten more use doing this than anything else. Okay. And also, as someone who is blonde, very few of us actually have blonde eyebrows. Let me just make it so that that's more noticeable and less of an issue. Honestly, that does immediately look better, doesn't it? Of course, I don't actually have any of, I don't have the frickin' references open. I probably should. I actually had them open on the tablet, but then I decided I'm going to actually use the tablet as, like, a launch pad. Which was probably not the smartest of ideas. Okay. So, Vanessa does actually have freckles, so we're going to go next with that, so... Oh wow, I need slightly more black. So... Unfortunately, shaky hands do not make for a good painting experience for me always. It's also just like... It's really hard to also do this with a camera. Oh shoot, oh well. I really fricked that one up. Okay. So it's now time for corrective measures, which is what I like to call glasses cleaners, these alcohol prep pads. Just get it real small, up close to it, and just barely dab at it. Okay. I'll be able to fix a bit more of it when it dries. But I think what I'm going to do for right now is, just continue working. Continue my hard work. Oh yeah, that looks way better. That looks way better. Well, who would have known that adding like any amount of effort into the... Oh my god, that just... Hold on, you know what? Yeah, that needs a complete restart. So just... completely wipe the slate clean here. I wonder, how much of her hair is now black from being... Wow, none. That's insane. I would have expected a little bit of issue there. But yeah, these alcohol pads, when you are doing any sort of painting, they will become your best friend, because they are great for just the little errors, and also big ones. And I can fix those freckles later. I can fix the eyelashes later. Right now, we just gotta focus on getting all of the details right. So, let us do our frickin' best. That's not terrible. It's a bit too big for those freckles, though. And I just hit the camera, I'm sorry. Okay. Boop. Way too big. I keep doing it way too big. Dab, dab. Okay, I need a little bit more. Wow, that actually... not frickin' bad. Not bad at all. Except for that, there's literally just like one spot on the eye. I would love to like get this slightly off. Damn it, okay. That did not work as planned. Wow, that's just making it worse because it's dragging the paint now. Okay. Just like, there's no black directly under the frickin', the hair. Just not good to fix. Okay. That should be okay enough. for me to fix and repair. Boop. Okay, I need to stop trying so hard with these freckles. Like, that's ridiculous. I keep messing that up so bad, and I'm making this a mess. Okay, that's good. That's good. I can tolerate that. Next up, got to actually do lips on this poor girl. Because even though she is white, she does have lips, so. Let us grab this. And the literal smallest brush that I own. Literally, look at this. That's insanely small. Okay. So now, just want to like position her that way. Good line of sight. I'm also now noticing there's a black spot directly underneath her nose that I need to fix right now. Perfect. Okay. I actually kind of don't mind having a bit of the smears. Because, like, it just looks like dirt. Just, like, normal. That's not terrible. Like, genuinely. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done to fix up some other parts of it. But yeah, that's a decent frickin' start. Okay, so Vanny has turned out way better than I initially expected her to. So it looks like it is time for us to move on to some of the more final details with her. Namely, the logo on her hat and her shirt, which were completely unpainted. Now this is going to be very hard for me to actually, like, look at while I'm doing. So, like, the actual, like, I think what I need to do is literally just start with, the full white circle. And then I'll go over it with the black. Well, hopefully that dries well. And now, the hard part is the one on the shirt. Which, honestly, I'm not even sure. You know what? I think I'm going to try something different for. Instead of doing the regular thing, I'm just going to try yellow for a badge, because it's way too small to, like, accurately get. So let me just... Yeah, that's good. And you know what? While I'm here, that is a flashlight. Give it some freaking color. Right, so then we just patch up a bit of the hair. Right, now we just have to wait for the top part to dry, and she will be done. So we have effectively turned Roxy into a statue. So it's time to start doing some of the finer details here. Also, it looks like any blockage of light on this side is causing a major distortion. I really hope that that does not come out super terrible looking on camera, but who knows, I'll have to try my best when it's editing time for this episode. I'm going to need to figure out a snout and hair color mix in just a second. But already I'm feeling better about this. So let's just start getting the teeth. Teeth are looking good. You know what, since I have the white out, might as well get these keys. There we are. Nice keytar. Alright, now let's move on to some of the makeup. So, right up here, we have the eyebrows and eyelashes that need serious attention. It is so genuinely hard to paint and record, I had no idea. I was in over my head for this one. Okay. God, my hands are so freaking shaky. Now let's get the inner ears. Boop, boop. Perfect, and then we get... actually, I'm not even gonna focus on getting that nose perfect, because I am going to need to, like, recolor the snout. But what I do need to focus on is these little uncolored bands that they completely neglected in the first coat of this. But that's why I am here. I will fix up this Roxy. Oddly enough, this actually looks better, just like this. It looked better unpainted than the frickin' regular one did. That's ridiculous. Alright, and here we are. I am mixing up the paint for the hair as we speak. While this last run-through is not completely dried, it should not be too much of an issue, I don't think. I'm looking at this purple. Oh, that's lovely. It's exactly what you wanted. It's exactly what we wanted. Now, of course, one of these is going to get recolored green. But, you know, better to get the full body shot done. Oh, whoops, off cam. That's fine. It's really hard to paint this entire thing in one go. also very hard to keep it steady on the camera. Alright, so that's as much as I can get for this run. But oh boy, we are immediately I'm seeing like this. This is 1,000 times better than it was before. Like, I cannot believe that they released it in the state that they did. Like, the fact that I am finishing the job of the frickin' painters is insane. Like, imagine, like, I'm literally recoloring a toy because of how poorly they did it. That's so upsetting. Alright, wow, that's, it's come out pretty good. She's a bit darker than, like, I intended, but that's okay. So I'm going to layer down like this. Get a little bit more on here. Oh, frick. That's fine. Except now I do need to patch up some spots. Okay. I do like how the paint hadn't perfectly mixed, so now there's like dark purple streaks in here. That actually works really nicely. Alright. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, so the purple hair has started to dry, which means it's time to start adding the green highlight to this part right here. Because everyone knows she has her green streak in her hair. Why do the freaking animals outside feel the need to start screaming as soon as I start recording? You did not do this in the several hours of downtime between this. Like, seriously. There's no reason. They're still going at it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that looks lovely. And now, let's try to get it on the frickin' keytar. Wow, that actually just looks fine already. And we get this area right here, as well as the area underneath. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to go over the fingertips again at some point, so it's okay. The next thing we get to do is her yellow eyes. So let's start putting in these frickin' pupils. Well, I mean irises, actually. That's a blob of yellow. I doubt that's going to work well. Oh well. We'll see. You'll have to see how it works. Let's get that blob as well, sure. And while we're here, might as well fill in the tongue area. That's good. Yeah. That works fine, actually. Okay. So we are getting closer and closer to having these be done. Just realized that I had completely neglected to put the snout colors in. So it looks like let's do that right now. I should be able to do this no problem at all. Yes, this is looking quite nice. Yeah. Yeah, A little bit on the side because of how... Yeah. Well, that was really looking nice. Alright. Sweet. Oh. Right, so while it's not time for the main clothes just yet, we can start with her leg warmers, which were never colored initially, so this is going to be the first time they were. All we have to do is essentially just like quick blobs on her legs. And I'll come back with like a tiny black detailer, and we'll do that. That'll be good. I'm pretty sure she also has them on her arms. She does. Okay, so let me just... You know what? Just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to do it on her hands. Make it like gloves. Yeah, that works. Okay. She is really close to being done now. Alright, and we are coming to the very end of fixing up Roxy here. All I need to do is just get this top and bottom done, and then her detail will be entirely finished. So, of course, I'm going to probably hit a couple things I don't mean to, because, you know, it's a frickin' paintbrush, and I'm not exactly the most stable-handed person in the world. But, like, that's not, like... The actual, like, restoration and, like, fix here was never the point. The point of doing this was just showing how little these brands actually care about what they're putting out into the world. Like, seriously. Did anyone, like, review any of these things before they were released? No. They just got made. And they just let them out into the world way faster than they were ever ready. And, yeah. It's just depressing because it's like, look at what a little bit of effort can do. You can just have an entirely different and better frickin' thing by just spending some time doing it yourself on these. It's like, why should it be like this? Why do I have to be the one to repair something that I bought? Why do I have to finish it? It doesn't make sense. Because, like, this looks so much better than how it looked before. Oh my god, that underneath needs some, I completely missed that before. Let's just... It needs a larger brush. That's a smaller brush. This is a larger brush. Like... Even with just basic acrylic paint, the smallest amount of skills, just like the amount of effort that I put into repainting these for this video is more than they put into actually making them. And like, look, just like actively changing a few things and finishing the detail makes them so much better. Just like, the style isn't even bad. They're just painted so poorly that you don't even notice how decent they actually are. It's like, this did not even need that much work. It literally just needed detail, and I didn't even make it that great, but it just is 1,000 times better than what it was before. It's ridiculous how just like absolutely zero effort went into making these. And now we sit here at the table and we just have to think, why? Why do brands just not care about what they're putting out there? Since God knows, it's like they clearly did not care when putting these out, considering they were just incomplete. If you look at the actual product packaging, they were not finished. They were not fully colored. So, what the hell? Why am I the one responsible for fixing this? Who knows? But that will be all for today's episode. This took an entire day to record. I know it doesn't seem like that, but paint takes a bit to dry, so yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope that you have enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!